Okay, let's see if I am live. Hey, live! Yeah, buddy. Okay, we here and we here. I think I'm gonna do this guy for a couple of ticks. All right, here we go. We going. What's good, my people? You know what? I think I'm gonna go live on Facebook just for the first part of the show. So let's do that. Shout out to my man DJ Just J for sending me this beat. My boy, that's what's up. All right, let's do this. Basic, and we just gonna start it up. Yep, new start. Bam. All right, what's going on, good people? Let's see. Okay, let me give some shout outs here to the peeps that done joined in, that's been here from the giddy. First and foremost, give a shout out to G Danny C, what's up? Roy Williams, my man. Dwayne Holmes, what's happening, Captain? My brother DJ Just J-OK, what's up? Frantonio Michaels, what's up? Man, that Frantonio, man, that just sounds so Italian. It just got mafia written all over it, man. I likes that. Frantonio, my man. Bob Cricket, what's up? Mike Craw, I think that's what it is. What's happening? Lat is tall. What's going on with y'all? Hey, live. Selena, what's up? What's up? Let's see who else in here. Michelle Glass, what's up, MG? I want to give a shout out to my man Nate Smith. J Smooth, what it do? Skohar, what's up? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. B, what's happening? Thank you. Blessings to you too, sir. Man, I just want to say, DJ, I am feeling this track, man. I like it. I love it, and I want more of it. I just been letting this bump for like the past 20 minutes while I was getting ready, doing all the stuff I got to do, all the backstage stuff, you know what I'm saying? I just letting it ride too. But, man, I think we're going to have a good show. Make sure y'all hit that like button. First and foremost, make sure y'all hit that share button, throw it out there on the Facebook, throw it on the IG, the Twitter, the MG, the SG, the whatever G, whatever book you got, Tumblr, whatever it is you on Twitter, put it out there. I want this to be the biggest show yet. That's what I want to do. I think that's going to be my new goal. Every show, I want it to be the biggest show since the last show. So that's what we on tonight. We want this show to be bigger than the last show. So let's grow this thing. Man, I do want to give a shout out to my man DJ Just J for hitting 10,000 subs. What it do, bro? So proud of you, man. You've been working hard. You've been grinding. And man, I see you. I see you. I see you. But man, I just want to say nice job to you, man, and what you're doing with Tommy's platform, man. It is awesome, bro. I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And man, I had nothing but my hat off to you, man. Salute. Man, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's in Soto Nation, to all of the mods, to everybody out there in Facebook land. Click on, you know what? I wonder if I got the link up, and I don't think I do. But to everybody over in Facebook, I'm only gonna do like the first intro part of the show, and then I want y'all to come over to the YouTube side of the game. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the link in there. I thought I did, but ain't no telling with me. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there if it's not in there. And I don't think that it is. Nope, it ain't. But I'm gonna go ahead and drop that link in there, and then I want you all to make sure y'all come over to the show on the YouTube. Let's see here. Let's back that out. And actually, I think I can do it from here. Yes, I can. Because I kind of wasn't really anticipating on going Facebook Live, and that was kind of like a last minute spur of the moment thing, if you will. So we here now, so wait, we got to do it, and if we gonna do it, let's do it right. That's what it's all about. So let me tell you a little bit about the show on tonight. We basically gonna be talking about, should I get married? Is it worth it? And this is a question that has been asked a long while ago, and I think that tonight is a good night to go ahead and do it and address it. I really got some great points, I think, about the subject. And a lot of people, you know, have asked me this from time and time again, and it's been like on a case-by-case basis with the should I get married, is marriage worth it, you know, why people getting married, all that kind of stuff. So it's talked about quite a bit, but I think on tonight we can actually get some real headway, make some good headway here, and actually get something well defined. So I hope we can do that. I hope you guys want to do that with your boy, and we can make that happen. So let me go ahead and drop this in here. I see my link. There it goes. And once I do that, then we can do this. And I'm gonna let this beat just ride for one more go round, and that will be that. All right, there we go. There's the live show. Let's see here. Now wait a minute now. Where did my live show go? I surely don't see it now. What is going on? Wait, I think I gotta go to the page and go to my page, and then I should see it right there. But I don't. So what does that mean? I don't know. All right. So I can go around this way, I believe. Let's see here. Nope, I don't see it there either. Ain't nothing happened. My live show didn't stop, did it? I don't think so. What is going on? Let me see here. Alright, if I go back to school again. Alright, let me stop this because I don't want this to keep playing. Alright, so let's stop that. If death should come for me tonight, girl, I want you to know that I love you. Hey, have y'all guys seen From Daddies to Daughters? Y'all need to let me know what y'all think about that. I think I got like maybe 3 more to do before I'm done with the series, at least up to this point. But I wanted to get some feedback on that. A few people have hit me up and, you know, said they liked it. So if it's something I can keep doing, I will. And if it's just something that was just here for a season, then so be it. I will leave it. Yeah, I don't see this show no more, and I don't know why. But yeah, I see everything else but my live show. Okay, so I think that I'm not gonna worry about this too much longer, because my patience is getting thin. with it, because I don't know where it would go to or why it would leave my screen. Yep, and it's not there either. So let's try this, and I'll go back to my name, and I don't see it. Wowzers. Alrighty, well, enough with that. I guess it's going live, I guess, some kind of way or whatever, but we shall see, because it is definitely not on my page no more. I didn't even know I had a thing waiting, but that's fine. All right, well, we're going to forget about that. So I'm going to let this go, and hopefully it's streaming over there, and if it is, great. If it's not, they can click on it, figure it out, whatever. So first and foremost, I do want to give a shout out to everybody that came out on tonight. Peace to everybody that has been supporting your boy, to all of the people that have been donating to your boy. I really do appreciate it. It is really awesome to see you guys come together and just consistently, let me use that word, consistently support me, and I really do appreciate it. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to share the time that we do share together, guys, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I will read any all donations at the end of the night, or the end of the show rather, and we can go from there. Now, with this, I do have content and points that I want to make and want to go over. However, if somebody wants to maybe chime in, if somebody wants to disagree or add to, whatever the case may be, if we're in good time, I don't want to do a really, really long show, but if we're in good time, we can definitely chop it up. I can open up the Google Hangouts and we can go from there. So I do want to say, with that being said, I guess what I wanted to do is just give you a breakdown of the show. So what are we talking about tonight? Is marriage worth it, right? Should I get married? What's the purpose or what's the point of marriage? And what I did was I came up with just some really good points on marriage and what, you know, people thoughts are about marriage and how people feel, the climate of marriage today. And I also talked about wanted to talk about some misnomers. I want to talk about some things that people just in general say about marriage and getting married, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, and just give my views on that. Then I'm going to actually go into some key points about marriage and what marriage really is supposed to be about from my perspective. And we can go from there. So, first and foremost, is marriage worth it? So, as you all know, I believe the number is around maybe 70% or 80% of marriages, you know, aren't successful. It's well over half are end in divorce. So they say, I believe that when it just comes to marriages, you know, a lot of times they say that the majority of the time the woman is the one that actually ends the marriage. She is the one that actually files for divorce or whatever the case may be. Most of the time, you know, most men, they do want to work it out, figure it out, you know, work on it. But I think that both sides a lot of the times don't have the tools to do so, which is why a lot of marriages fail. And I'll definitely be getting into that because, and pretty much what I have here is just basically a statement somebody sent me about marriage. And it basically just said 2/3 of marriages that end are ended by women, and a lot of the guys never see it coming. And then it's like they are so busy satisfying themselves that they never look over on the other side of the bed and wonder if she is satisfied. Being a wife and a mother, you know, we tend to always take care of everyone else, and we feel forgotten about. We have nothing left for ourselves, and it really gets frustrating. And I guess the question is just like, what have you done just strictly for your wife lately? So it's like, I guess, and that's just basically the heart of somebody, you know, feeling what they're feeling or just questioning what it is being in a marriage and how that dynamic works. And I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done there as just far as how we have our family dynamic and our dynamics when it comes to marriage. I think a lot of the roles, the positions, the expectations and things like that over the years have gotten quite blurry, and they are not well defined, to say the least. So with that being said, it's like, I guess one of the things that I just wanted to go over was some of the quick hits that I've gotten asked about as far as marriage. And basically one of the main ones is marriage worth the investment of time, money, the emotion, the energy, and the resources that it takes? In my opinion, I would say it's worth it when you go into it with for the right reasons. I think a lot of us get married for the wrong reasons. I think a lot of our ideas for marriage are we have the wrong reasons and the wrong conceptions about marriage. What we think marriage should be and what our marriage we want it to be. I think it's kind of a distorted reality, if you will, and it's not really realistic in a lot of ways. So I think the idea of marriage is great. I think the idea of sharing your life with someone is awesome. But I don't think that we have a truly clear and tangible way and actually have action plans set to actually achieve that goal of being married. So one of my biggest things with marriages is when you're talking about your time, your money, your resources, your energy, and all that kind of stuff, when there's a balance, it's great. But I still think that some things come into play that can actually cause a marriage to end badly or can cause a big rift in a marriage. One of those things is finances. So when it comes to your money and your assets, I believe that when anybody decides to get married, I think that number one, they need to have a marital contract. If you ain't got shit, if you both broke, fine. You don't have to worry about that, because everything that you guys get together is basically both of you all's, because you've achieved it together. But if you are a person who has a foundation that's well settled, and you have assets, you have finances, your credit score is great and all that good stuff, you have those things in order, then I absolutely do think that you need to have a premarital contract. Why? Because number one, it takes the money and the assets part out of the picture, which gets you back to the relationship aspect of your lives that you're spending together. So when you're talking about the assets, when you're talking about your money, when you get a divorce, or if you decide to split up, or if you're not happy and you're contemplating being, together or not, that weighs in heavily with a, should I stay? Should I go? Is it worth it? Should I work it out? Or whatever the case may be. It's a huge part of the divorce. They say that most divorces end because of finances. So with that being said, when you have a premarital contract and not a prenup, a premarital contract is basically a contract that is set up by both parties, the man and the woman, or whatever, the man and the man, or the woman and the woman, however you work that out, but is set up specifically to say, if in the event that we are to get a divorce, there is nothing for us to talk about when it comes to these things. This is mine, this is yours, we ain't going after that. Whatever we have accrued together, we will split it down the middle, or you can even parcel off those things to say, you get the house in Bermuda, I get the house in Hawaii, and we done. So you have that already established, that's already done, that's already set. So it's like when you have the only thing that you do have to worry about next would be your children, if you have children. So how does that work? You already have custody established. If in the event throughout the course of this marriage we have children, visitation will go as follows. The children will live here, the children will live there. It'll be half and half, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. However that's worked out, it's already done, and it is a contract that is signed, that is binding for both of you all. So if you get married and 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, you guys say, you know what, this ain't working for me, I'm out. All you literally do is pull out those marital contracts and bam, have your lawyers take care of the property and the things that you guys have accrued together. That's finished and done. It's over with. You go your way, you go your way. Custody is shared, however you guys have worked custody out, and it's good from there. You work out if it's alimony that you want to do or you don't want to do, it's all in there. And I think that if you can get that established beforehand, if you can get that established before you get divorced, then there is no type of penalty that one or the other has to take. There isn't a thing of, well, now I'm leaving and I won't have. Or now that I'm leaving, I want you to pay me $15,000 a month in child support. It's like that's already been established and that's already been settled to where there isn't a dispute about that. There isn't a thing to where you can come back later and say, well, now you making $150 million a year and I think you should take care of me. It's already been done. It's already been established. You both have signed it and you can move forward. So you can actually get into the lives of what it is that you guys are separating. Finances are done. So that's my thing with premarital contracts. I think they are definitely something that people don't do because they're in love and they think, oh, it's never going to happen. We're not going to set ourselves up to fail. But I absolutely think that, especially if you are a person that has assets, if you are a person that has finances, one way or the other. If you both have them, you need to do it. If one has it and the other one doesn't, you can still set that person up. So if I got Kobe Bryant money or LeBron James money, whatever the case may be, I got 2 Chainz money, whatever the case may be, I can still say, well, hey, look, I know you ain't got shit, you broke, but if in the event that we do get a divorce and we go our separate ways, you'll get this house, you'll get this money, and you'll get alimony for 2 years or whatever the case may be, and I agree on this set amount, and that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, when you can do that when you in love, then when you ain't in love no more, it's so much easier and you don't have to have that pain of getting a divorce. So it makes the process a whole lot easier. Another one that I've been asked about too is sex before marriage. So this is kind of touchy. So I'm just gonna say this the way that it is, the way that it came to me, and the way that I feel about it. Should you have sex before marriage? No. I'm gonna say that because if you are a virgin and he is a virgin and she is a virgin, I think you guys can figure sex out together. However, I think there is a problem once you are sexually active, especially when you are older in life and you've had a lot of sexual partners. I think that because of the way that your sexual blueprint has been written, because that's exactly what happens. The way that you're introduced into sex, the people that you have sex with, especially the ones you have sex with on a consistent basis, you have to realize that you have and you develop a sexual blueprint. So when you're talking about the way you do it, how you like it, the way you like to be touched and all that good stuff, over time, the way that you keep doing things, you pick certain things up from past lovers to where that begins to write your own sexual blueprint. And now you have certain things that actually turn you on, and you actually have certain things that turn you off. When you have 2 people that are actually in a sexual relationship like that, and those 2 people come together, you're now talking about 2 people who have their own sexual blueprints, and now you're trying to mesh them together. So I like this, you like that, I don't like this, I don't like that. Those things absolutely need to be discussed because you have both been sexually active with other people and now you're trying to come together with your sexual blueprints. If you have certain things about you that you don't like, and you have certain things about you that you do like, and you're not willing to compromise certain things, that can be a huge problem when it comes to sex. That can be a huge problem when it comes to sex. I tell people that all the time. Make sure you know what your partner's sexual language is, what it is that they like, and if you are able to do that. Because at the end of the day, those things that you are used to are the things that you crave. And when you can't get those cravings satisfied, you will feel you'll feel cheated. You'll feel like, man, I have a desire for this and I can't get it. And you know, the first time something goes wrong or something goes bad or shit goes left, now you're trying to get it from somewhere else. So that's why I always say, make sure that you're fully aware of that and that you fully know what that person's sexual appetite is like, what they like to do, if you like to do it, and if you're good with it, fine. If you're not, then that's something that definitely needs to be considered when you're talking about being together. So that's why, and if you're, and my thing back to why I said no, if you're a virgin, you have no blueprint that's written. So you guys are getting used to each other. You're learning each other. You're figuring out what each other like together. And there isn't, you know, this thing that you used to do with this girl that you really like what she did, and this way that this guy used to do this and you really like what he did, and now you trying to get him to do it, or you're trying to get her to do it the same way. You don't have that issue. You don't have that problem because you guys are both being introduced to it. So Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Chad, you going crazy. Who was that, Dwayne? Anyway, let's see. Next is going to be living together before marriage. Now, this is huge. When you are young, and I'm talking early 20s, it really doesn't matter because you will figure out who is you are more easy to be accommodating. You're more easy to be flexible and things like that when you are young. So when you're young and you're getting married, yeah, I think that can work no matter if you live together, if you did live together, because you guys are going to mesh and you're going to work that out. However, when you are older in life, I personally believe that you should live together 6 to 24 months, somewhere up in there. Here's why I say 6 to 24 months. Because you shouldn't just live with somebody just to live with them. You should be living with this person with the intent on getting married. You should be living with this person with the intent on being engaged. Sometimes people have engagements that last anywhere between 6 to 2 years. If your engagement lasts longer than 2 years, y'all ain't getting married. I'm just telling you that right now. The chances of you getting married are slim to none. But if you got a ring and you guys are saying, hey, we're going to get married, move in together so that you can see how you guys actually live together. Yeah, and some people say, oh, well, we lived together the first month before we actually got married. I think that you need to be there with that person for at least 6 months, because at 6 months, all of the going out of the ways and don't want nobody to know what I really do, you can't keep that up for 6 months. If you are an extremely good actor, and you should definitely be somewhere on Broadway or somewhere in Hollywood. But I think in a 6 month time frame, that's where you actually will become yourself at some point, and that person will become themselves at one point, and you will truly see how each other lives. You'll know how this person likes the toilet roll on the toilet, this toilet roll dispenser. You'll know how this person squeezes the toothpaste from the tube, if they squeeze from the middle or from the bottom. I squeeze from the bottom. Don't squeeze my toothpaste in the middle. I don't like it, and if you do it, it's something wrong with you. But at the end of the day, when you squeezing that toothpaste from the bottom, where do you put your clothes? Who washes dishes? Who washes clothes? Who mops? Who sweeps? All of that kind of stuff will eventually come out. If this person is clean, if this person is dirty, if this person is just nasty, because there's some nasty folks out here in the world, I'm telling you. It's people that put the drawers on Monday through Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, they don't put fresh drawers on, they reverse them and put them back on. If you living with that type of person, you need to know. I need to know if you flip your drawers around and don't wash them. So now, when you go to do the laundry, you get the clothes, you're sorting them, you sitting there wondering, how does this person get Hershey skid marks on both sides of the drawers? It's because they flipping them. That's what I'm saying. So that's information that you need to be privy to. You need to know if you dealing with somebody who flips their drawers, okay? You need to know if that person has socks that they wear so long that the socks are shaped like the foot and they stiff and they can stand up on their own because they don't switch the socks out. That's the kind of stuff you need to know. You need to be able to know if you can withstand a person's farts. It's some people that will hold back farting throughout the dating. They'll hold back farting, talking and all that. But 3, 4, 5 months into the game, you gonna catch a whiff of that fart and see if it's something you can withstand or not. Some people can't. Some people can, but you need to know what you're getting into. So that's definitely some pertinent information, all right? So you need to be with somebody that long so you can make sure that you guys can actually live together. Because once the wedding has come, she done had her walk down the aisle and all her friends done seen her. She done been like, yes, bitch, here I am in my dress. I'm killing the game. I'm the coldest bride ever. Once that's all done and everybody came and ate that food and you done spent $10, $15, $20,000 and now you back at home and it's just you and her, that's when life begins. And that's when you really need to know who you living with. So make sure that you know who you living with, and the only way to do that, live with them before. Them weekends, you can keep that front up over the weekends. She won't boo-boo around you for the weekends. When you come out and you hang out with her on the weekends, and you drive up and she drive down, y'all meeting up and y'all spending this time together. You coming over to my house on every other weekend. I come over to your house. Y'all cooking together, having such a wonderful time, and you ain't never smelled her doo-doo. That is not good, because you need to know what her doo-doo like. She needs to know what your doo-doo is like, Because at the end of the day, if you don't know when you get that shot, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't know she could do something like that. It looked like she done dropped a bomb like that. It looked like she done had an abortion in that toilet. You don't want to get that snuck up on you when you got the rings on now. You need to know that, so when you looking at her in that wedding dress, you gonna be like, girl, you know you got some stanky doo-doo. And she can look at you and be like, you know you got some stanky doo-doo. And y'all still love each other. It's all good. So make sure that you know that. Make sure you have those details. You're well informed of the details, because that matters. Another big thing that I always say is marriage counseling. Marriage counseling. And you need to find somebody that you both know are impartial to both parties. It can't be, oh, my cousin is a marriage counselor and he gonna marriage counsel us, or my auntie, she do marriage counseling and she gonna give it to us for the load. You find somebody that you can go to that is a marriage counselor that you both don't know. And you also need to be with somebody that can be impartial. I mean, if some people may find if your pastor is good enough to where they can be impartial, great. But you definitely want to be able to do two things. You want to be able to go to your marriage counselor separately, and you want to be able to go to your marriage counselor together. Because the things that you have on your mind that you may not know how to bring to her, you need to be able to bring it to that marriage counselor and have that marriage counselor be the mediator to come bring you guys together. And she needs to be able to do that too. So that's why I always say marriage counseling. Yes, you both need to make sure that you can do that. So yes, marriage counseling is important, because even after the marriage, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now, you may need to go back and get some things rejuvenated, get some things discussed, put some cards on the table. It happens. So be able to do that. Right age to get married. Now, here's my age, and I'm going to tell you why. So, right age to get married is, for me, I say 28 to 42. And I'm going to tell you why. So, wait, what does that say? Then learn the core. In the Catholic Church, it's mandatory or they will not marry you. I know that. Yeah, so I feel you, Carrie, with the mandatory Catholic Church thing. And all I'm going to say to that is, don't be Catholic then. Because at the end of the day, if you want your marriage to work, you really need to be able to be with that person. Unless you both are virgins. And you both going to get together and you both 20 years old and you both start your lives together, and your grandparents and put your house together, and your parents and put all your furniture in there. They done set you up for success. Great. You can absolutely get away with doing that. But in most relationships today, most people are not virgins. Most people do. I mean, because in that time when you're talking about the Catholic Church, that's exactly what the expectation was. You were betrothed back then. So it's like, now to have that same expectation, I think it's unrealistic. And like I said, unless you have like extenuating circumstances to where you are just like perfectly old school prepared to be married, where this person's family and that person's family come together, and my daughter and your son gonna come together and we gonna put this thing together, then absolutely you can go ahead and work that. But not, I definitely say if you want it to last, as opposed to just going by the letter of the law, I definitely think you should go ahead and get married. Live together before you get married. So, but back to this age thing. So, why did I say 28 to 42? I'm going to tell you why. So, first of all, the reason why I say 28 is because when you're 28, you pretty much have finished school. You have, or if you're doing something like being a doctor or a lawyer, something like that, you almost finished. You're in the sunset part of your education, unless you're going to be a career student, which we do have those. But when you're at that age, at 28, you're pretty much solidified in your career. You're more than likely a few years onto your job already. You know where you're going to go. You have good vision on where your career is going to be headed. You know what you want to do. You know what it's going to take to be doing it. You've lived that single life. You lived your college life and enjoyed yourself. You've done all of those things to prepare you to have a stable life. So now you're at the point to where you're building that foundation, and you are still at an age where your life is quite malleable. It can be shaped and formed. You can compromise, you can negotiate and do all of those things. You don't have that, man, I still wish that I was going on spring break with the fellas, or I still wish me and my girls could go on that trip to Mexico and find us a Pedro and do our thing. You've gotten all that out of your system, and now you're getting to the point to where you are ready to begin the thought of settling down. So that's when I say the age of 28, because I think by then everything that you have wanted to do as far as being a single person, I think should have been done, or pretty much damn near done. And now you're at the point to where you are now in a position to find somebody, and you're financially stable enough to find somebody to begin to build a life with. 42. 42. Now, I didn't just say 42 because that's Jackie Robinson number. I didn't just say that. 42 is an age to where I think where it's like right before the third quarter is ending, if you will. You will, the third quarter is ending. You're about to get into the fourth quarter of your life, and you will pass halftime, if you will. And I think that at 42, you pretty much know who you are, you know what you want, and you can truly be confident in that. You don't have to worry about saying, well, I still want to do this and I still want to do it. You know what it is that you want, but you still have some room for compromise. When you get into your late 40s, 45, 47, 50, 51, 55, when you get into those ages, you don't want to compromise. You get to a point to where you like, I'm living my life. This is what I do. And hey, either you roll with me or you get rolled over. You don't have that. You don't have that willingness to compromise anymore. You feel as though, hey, I'm making the money I want to make. I'm doing the things I want to do. Or I ain't making the money I want to make. I'm bitter as fuck. I'm mad. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. And now you're just not the easiest person to get along with. When you got your own car, you got your own house, you got your own clothes, ain't nobody got to give you nothing. Now you're in a more position of saying, hey, I do what I want to do. I ain't trying to do what somebody else tells me to do. I ain't trying to acquiesce, look it up, to what somebody's telling me to do now. I'm at the point to where I'm secure and I'm stable in what it is that I want, who it is that I am, and the things that I expect every day. And if you can't get with this, then get with that. So that's why I say at 42, you begin to really get into that phase of your life to where you ain't trying to hear what everybody talking no more. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. And when you get to that point, it's very hard to mesh your life together with someone else, because now you're in a position of still having to be accountable for someone, accountable to someone, responsible for someone. And that is something that a lot of people don't want to take on. Most of the time, too, your kids are pretty much almost grown, or they damn well are grown, or you may still want to have kids. And if you want to begin a family in your 40s, it can still be done. It's a little difficult to do, but you have your at-risk pregnancies and all that stuff. But I still think that it's possible to do it. If you really want it bad enough, you will change. You will let yourself, let those things go that you need to let go of to become who you need to be, so that you can have that type of connection with somebody. So I definitely would say that is not impossible. I'm just giving you a general age group on when I think you should have that pretty much established in what you're going to do. Last but not least, somebody always asks me about this, is polyamorous marriages. So we talking about polygamy and having more than one wife and all that good stuff. Here's my position on that. I do think that you can do it. I think that a lot of times, because like we always say in Soto Nation, most women are sharing a man anyway. You are, at the end of the day, whether it's your baby daddy, whether you the wife and you got the baby mama and you got the baby mama drama and the baby daddy's over here and the baby daddy's over there and the boyfriend's with you. Most women are sharing a man anyway in some shape, form, or fashion. My thing with that is, I think that the biggest point of it is that the benefits of being in a polyamorous or polygamous relationship, we don't take advantage of. The financial benefits, being under one house, having the workload spread more evenly across the board to where more people can do more things, so it makes it less overwhelming for some people. You know, it's like it's hard when you're going to school, going to work, taking care of the kids, taking care of your husband. Like in the beginning when I was talking about, you know, people being overwhelmed, people feeling like, you know, it's just so much that's on me and nobody's looking out for me, nobody's there to take care of me. When you have another person in the household, then absolutely that can be helped. Now, I know a lot of times, and every single time that this is brought up, women talk about all men want to do it for is for the sex. And a lot of times, initially, that is what men think about. However, a more, I would say, responsible man, a man who is forward thinking, will think about the thing of this being, hey, this is something to where I need to be able to take on what I can handle. So does that mean that every man will want to have 6 wives? Nope. Because there's a financial responsibility that goes with that. There's an emotional responsibility that goes along with that. There's a time responsibility that goes along with that. And it is very hard for somebody to juggle 5 or 6, 7, 8 women. However, when you're talking about maybe 2 or 3, if you have the finances to do that, if you guys can come together and combine your finances to do that, you can easily turn a household that's making, you know, maybe $60,000 into one that's making $160,000. What can you do with that? You can do a lot. You can have a lot more buying power. You can have a lot more spending power. You can have a lot more things. You can acquire a lot more. And your day-to-day lives can be a lot easier if everybody's on the same plan, which is why I always say this. One of the biggest things about that is when it comes to polygamy, most of the shot calling in the beginning, as far as the selection part, will have to be done by the women because they are the ones that will make it work or tear it down. So that is huge because it takes a certain type of woman to be able to do that, to be able to pick somebody that is going to work with the family that's already in place, the children that are going to be involved. It takes a really gifted woman to be able to do that. So that's not just an easy toe for just anybody to handle. Everybody just can't do that. And it's not made for everybody. I think that there's a lot of cases to where you have to have the self-confidence. You have to have that alpha male mentality because you can't have an alpha male, an alpha female, and another alpha female. You can't do that. You have to have an alpha male, or you got to have that alpha female, and there has to be a beta. And even in some cases, there may even have to be a cuck at the end of the day. So you have to make sure that there is a dynamic of how those relationships and those personalities come together in that relationship. So that at the end of the day is not something that I would recommend to any and everybody. I think that's a hard task to do. But if for those select few that can do it, the rewards are very, very, very bountiful. You can benefit a whole lot from a blended family like that. So that's enough of that. Now, moving into some of the key points of the of marriages and why I think a lot of marriages don't work. And actually, at this point, I'm going to end the Facebook part. So everybody that's watching on Facebook, go ahead and click on the link on my page. Come and join on YouTube. Watch it from there, and we will move forward. If you're catching this on the replay, just go to YouTube. It's right there, or just click on the link on my Facebook page, and you'll see it. You can also go to the Relationship Rehab as well. So let's go ahead and end that guy, and then we will move on. And we'll continue to send data for about 30 seconds. Okay, so that's ending. Cool. I think that's ending. Yeah, it is. Bet. All right, so moving into this part. Why do I think most marriages fail? I took some time to think about this, and I wanted to be able to not necessarily go way in depth with it, but I really wanted to be able to have some good points to where people can talk about this, and we can debate it, we can chat about it, whatever the case may be. If you guys want to send me emails about it, you can do so. If we want to revisit it on another date and talk about it, that's fine too. So one of the main reasons that I think that marriages fail is that, first and foremost, I think people get married for the wrong reasons. I think people get married for, and especially when it comes to women, because I think that men, we like to have the proclamation of the wedding, the statement that a wedding makes, but as far as picking the cake and the colors and the people that's gonna be in it, doing the guest list, finding who gonna sit well, who gonna do what, who's the ring bearer, who's the flower girl, how many maid of honors, how many matron of honors, how many pallbearers, how many funeral. Oh wait, that's two different things. But when you're talking about all of the people that's involved and all of the planning that's involved with a wedding, it is something that women do because it is their day. It's about that woman saying, hey, all of my life I've been thinking about this since I was a little bitty girl, and I've always wanted to get married, and Reverend Brown, who's been my reverend since I was a little girl, is gonna marry me, and my daddy gonna walk me down the aisle for those that got their daddies, and my mama gonna be there, and we gonna be sharp, and we gonna have this color, and we gonna have our hair done the same way. You think about that, pretty much most of your life, looking in magazines and all that kind of stuff. I mean, in marriage, at the end of the day, it's a huge business. There's a lot of money to be made in marriage. People getting married. So I think that's the idea of that. I think it gets really blown out of proportion, and people get more caught up in the day and making that statement, having the fairy tale wedding, and having that perfect wedding and all of the right people there, and you have that thing to where, yeah, bitch, you gonna see me walk down the aisle, I'm sharp, look at my red bottoms, I got these shoes and the dress and my hair, my face is beat. Girl, you just don't know, I've been telling y'all for 20 years I was gonna be sharp, and here go my day. Now stand up, bitches, and watch me walk. That's what a lot of women think about that. And at the end of the day, whether they want to admit it or not, they want that moment. And that moment, hey, if you think you deserve that moment to be that person, to have all eyes on you and everybody crying and clapping their hands when they secretly hating, but they can't hate because you sharp up in here and can't nobody tell you nothing different as you pat your weave and dig in your little wig and you own. Can't nobody knock that. But I think that's a wrong reason to get married. I think that's a wrong reason to put on the airs or put on the mask of being that ideal wife or that ideal husband to be married. I think that a lot of people get so caught up in just the image of being a married couple, the image of being that Michelle and Obama, we the power couple. I think you get caught up in that, and that is what causes you to not be prepared for being married. Which takes me to number 2. People are not equipped with the tools to build and maintain a marriage. So it takes a lot to essentially build a marriage, to get to know the person, to be able to work through your issues, to be able to live together, share your lives together, share your shit, your money, your clothes, your cars, all of your stuff that you have to share with this other person. It takes a lot to do that. And once you've gotten to that point, you are now in a position to where you say, okay, so we got all this stuff together. We in the house. We got the kids and all. How do we maintain it? You don't have the tools. A lot of us don't have a precedent. We don't have a marriage that was before the one that we got into that we can pattern ourselves out of after that's healthy. So the dysfunctional marriage, you don't want to pattern yourself after that. But how many functional marriages do you know, or can you go to, or can you consult and say, well, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, you guys have been married for 32 years, can you help us? It's not that much of that around. So there are a lot of tools that you don't learn or that you don't have until you on marriage number 3 to where you figure that out. So I think because we don't have those tools, we don't have those tools when it comes to relationships. We don't have those tools when it comes to friendships. We don't have those tools when it comes to enemyships. Whatever the case may be, you don't have the tools to build it. and therefore you don't have the tools to maintain it, or vice versa. When you don't do that, when you don't have those tools, it's eventually going to fall apart, because weathering takes place and you have to rehab certain things. You have to rebuild, revisit, you have to restructure some things in your marriage over time. And if you don't have the tools to do that, it's going to be a problem. So that's my number 2. That's good stuff. Number 3. Three. There we go. Number 3. People don't have the proper work ethic for marriage. What do I mean by that? Your work ethic is, marriage is like a career. It's not a job, because you walk off your job. You working at McDonald's, you working at UPS in that hot ass truck in August in Chicago, and you got there and you got 300 boxes to put on this hot ass truck. You'd be like, you know what, Mr. Jones, I quit. I'm out. You'll walk off your job. However, your career, you will work at it. You will work towards it. You will do extra training. You will do whatever it takes to work with your boss, to work with your coworkers. And there is a certain level of work that you have to put into it every day to actually be able to be successful at it. You will learn, you will train, you will do whatever you need to do to make yourself successful at that job. And that's the same at that career, at your career. And that's the same concept with marriage. Marriage is something that once you get married, all that good stuff, and it's all love, and the love done wore off. Now you're at a point to where you have to work at your marriage every day. It is a daily job. Just like you go and you punch in at your job and you working at whatever, and you working here, you got to come home and punch into your marriage and work at your marriage to make sure that things are going the way that you both want them to go. You have to put in time. You have to put in energy. You have to put in the resources to actually make your marriage continue to grow. If your marriage isn't changing, it's not growing. If your marriage isn't growing, it's not living. And if it's not living, it is dying. Okay? So keep that in mind. You have to have a consistent work ethic. And that leads me to my 4th point. People don't have the ability to be consistent. What do you mean by that? Well, what I mean is, what does your life look like when it comes to you doing things? Whether it's you doing a particular project, whether it's you cleaning up the garage, whether it's you saying you was going to paint, whether it's you saying you was going to refurnish this piece of furniture, you going to repurpose this, you going to fix your car, you got this car in your garage that you've been talking about you going to fix. Where is the consistency in doing what you say that you're going to do? You're going to go on a diet. You're going to lose weight. You're going to have, if you don't work at what it is that you're trying to do, you don't have consistency. If you don't have a plan, you can't execute. So you have to have something in place, which is called consistency, to get those things done. Can I be consistent with what it is that I'm saying I'm going to do? So when you tell somebody you're going to do something, you're giving them your word. When you say, hey, now I'm going to do this, you have to have a plan. You establish your plan, you know what you're going to do, and then you say, now I'm going to do it this way, and now I have to keep doing it. That's consistency. How do you stay doing it after day 1? How do you stay doing it after day 10? How you stay doing it after day 20? That all comes down to your ability to be consistent. And consistency is a very, very difficult thing to do and to maintain. You have to have it in here. You have to have it in your heart. You have to have the will to bring that energy to you being consistent every day. And that's a struggle we all have. But if you know about it, you can work at doing it. Being consistent. Create the ability to be consistent. Okay? Next point is, this is huge point right here. People don't have the ability to be transparent. Had to give a moment of silence for transparency. People don't have the ability to be transparent. What do I mean by that? Thank you, Jason, for putting them links in, brother. I appreciate that, man. What does it mean to be transparent? Being transparent is just being able to be you in your state that you're in, broken, fucked up, messed up, drugged up, cracked up, whatever the case may be, being transparent enough to say, this is who I am, and I know there's work to be done. However, I want to be honest enough with you to present myself as I am and to go from there. If this is something you can handle, is this something that you can build? If this is something to help me build on, if this is something that you can support me in fixing, me in my most vulnerable self. And when you think about just being transparent, think about it like this. If I'm going to be naked with somebody, if I'm going to let somebody see my body naked, I am at my most vulnerable point. I am bearing all that I am. Scars, scrapes, fat, sagging skin, whatever the case may be. Shout out to Tommy with the long titty dance. But all of that I'm bearing this to you. And when you're with somebody and you are just flat out naked, there is a level of transparency that you're presenting to that person, and you are in hopes you're hoping that that person has enough love, compassion, tenderness, whatever it is, to accept you as you are. And when it comes to being intimate with somebody, you can't be intimate with somebody without being transparent with them. You just can't. You have to be able to put yourself in a position to where you're vulnerable, where you'll be able to present yourself as you are, flaws and all, and just being transparent. Now take that to the emotional side of things. All of those things, your isms, your ways, or that's just how I am. The things that you have about yourself, your past, your present, that affects your future. And being able to lay those cards out to somebody, it takes a lot. And it is not an easy thing to do, but it is extremely necessary when it comes to having a successful marriage. Because when you can't tell someone where you're at, you can't tell someone what is going on with you, you can't express yourself to that person that you are in a marriage with, that you want to be in a marriage with, that you want to be in a relationship with, then how can that person truly know what it is that you need? How can that person be there to actually give you what it is that you need? How can that person even be able to understand or know if they can give you what you need? If they are equipped to give you what you need? If they have the tools to give you what you need or to build what it is that you need, how do they know that if you can't tell them? And so many of us are in marriages today, have gotten out of marriages yesterday, will jump into a marriage tomorrow, and they are not able to do that. So being transparent is paramount to the success of your marriage, because you have to be able to let that other person know what it is that you need from them. And the only way you can do that is you have to be able to present yourself. You have to be able to present yourself, not the idea of yourself, not that picture perfect image that you got on fucking Facebook that got all of the filters and all that stuff on it. No, that raw, scarred, messed up, pimple here, mustache there, hair under your arms, the Forrest Whitaker bumps on the back of your neck, all of that. You have to be able to present that to somebody so that they know exactly what it is that they're dealing with. Because when you can do that, then now you're at a point to where you can clearly say, hey, I let this person know who I was and what I was about from the very beginning. It's some new tea I'm trying. It's like berry hibiscus or something. It's real bougie. I actually need to have my pinky up, but that's not bad. Got a little berry taste to it. But transparency, I always speak about this. I always talk about this. I'm huge on transparency. Huge on transparency. Because when you're transparent with somebody, that person knows how they can help you, if they can help you, if they can deal with you, if they can't deal with you, whatever the case may be. Because when the infatuation part, the fantasy part of a relationship wears off, and that's natural. It happens. You have that initial part where you first meet, you're so excited, you talk to each other all day long, you're on the phone for 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 24 hours, you're watching each other sleep, you're listening to each other breathe on the phone, you said, no, you hang up, no, you hang up, no, you hang up, girl, you hang up. I'm not hanging up because I don't want to let you go. Girl, you better hang up because we got to go to work in the morning. I know, but I just don't want to hang up. I can't wait to see you this weekend. When you have that, that is a wonderful time in the relationship. It is so much fun. It's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. You know, when you just can't wait to see that person. That is an awesome part of the relationship. However, the relationship, because it is something that is organic, it is constantly growing, it is forever changing, and it is developing into a long-term relationship. That part changes, and it begins to be where you are the real person. I got a day when I'm not feeling well. I'm sick. I'm coughing. I got pneumonia, or as my nephew used to say, the pneumonia. I got all of these things going on with me, and I need you to see past, you know, that idea that you initially had, that picture perfect filtered image that I gave you. And I need you to see me coughing and hacking and my eyes red and my mouth got the white on it, the white around your lips. And I got green stuff coming out my mouth. I'm earling and I'm farting and it's coming out of both ends. Can you clean me up? That person there is the same person that you was excited and didn't want to get off the phone with, but you are seeing this person in a vulnerable point. You're seeing them in their most realistic, or should I say authentic self. And it's just that today is a bad day for them. Can you be with that person? Can you accept that person? Can you help that person? I remember one time I was in church and the pastor or bishop, he told a story about a couple. And the couple said, well, how did you know that you was in love with this person? And that person said, and this is going to be gross, so just listen. But that person said, I knew that I was in love with him when I was sick and he came over to take care of me. And as he's taking care of me, I felt myself, it just all of a sudden, it just came over me where I had to throw up. And I began to heave, and he ran over and put his hands out to catch my vomit, whatever you want to call it. And I said, God damn. I said, that's a hell of a thing to think about, to say that you put all that you are to the side and you were willing to catch your mate throw up in your hand. And I said, that's a hell of a statement to make about being in love with somebody, because you would. I mean, who would you do that with? Who would you really say, this person's getting ready to throw up, and your first thought is to run to that person with your hands out like, I got you, I'm going to catch it. Who gonna do that? You gotta be in love with somebody that you gonna do that to. Ain't nobody, most people, when somebody getting ready to what's the first thing you can do? Oh, you turn your head, you walk away, you peel off, dip off, whatever the case may be, because that's the last thing you want to see. You don't want to see it, you damn sure don't want to smell it, and you will shoot somebody if it get on you. I'm telling you right now, if you're early on me, I just might shoot you. Don't do it. Run to the other way. But I thought about that and I said, wow, that's really powerful to think about that. Ain't no bucket in sight. That's right, Frantonio. Ain't no bucket in sight. What you gonna do? You gonna let them hit the floor? You gonna try to grab? And not to say you gotta do it. So ladies, don't start acting like y'all ass is sick and throwing up to see what you ain't catch my throw up. You ain't shit. I knew you wasn't the man for me. You ain't catch my vomit, you motherfucker. I'm done. No. Don't y'all be testing y'all boyfriends and y'all husbands and mans, see if they love you by doing the vomit test. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, you're going to get yourself disappointed. You might even get your ass whooped. Don't do it. All right? So what I'm saying is, you have to realize the idea and the concept of what he was thinking in that moment. Not to say that he going to catch it every time either, because it might just be all time. But it's like I said, man, my wife at her worst, would I do that? And it's like, I'm thinking about it, I probably would do it. But that's just because of how much I love her. Not that I hate throw up, I hate vomit, but for her, I would. It's like, or even if you take it a step further, let's just get real. What if your mate shat themselves and they laying there and they need to be cleaned up and they can't do it? Are you gonna do it? I'm gonna be mad than a motherfucker. But I would do it. I would literally clean that shit up if I had to. Now, don't y'all be shitting on y'all. I'm telling you right now. Don't come to me with these emails. I already get a ton of emails in the first. Don't come to me talking about, hey man, or look Brian, I did the shit test and my wife failed. My husband failed. He left me in the shit for 2 days. I don't want to hear none of that. Don't be doing that. Don't be coming to me talking about I was making myself throw up and then he walked in the room and he just let the shit hit the floor. I'm done. Don't be coming to me talking about we need to have a session and we gonna talk because we got to figure this out. No, it ain't that. I'm just giving you the idea of being there for somebody. Okay? So don't do that shit. Just think about the concept of it and what that means. All right? I don't want to hear all this shit where y'all talking about people doing all this nasty stuff and thinking they supposed to be doing, they failing the test and y'all getting mad and going to divorce court and shit. So no. That's good. All right, so that's transparency. My next point, I only got a couple more, is people don't have the level of commitment that it takes to be in a marriage. And a lot of people don't understand this concept. And I'm going to say this concept, and even though it seems unrealistic, you have to have the idea of this concept. We're not getting divorced. Divorce is not an option. And when you hear couples say that, that's a powerful thing, because it's not the saying that because you say it, it won't happen. It's the intent of you saying that that's not an option. Because that means that you're not just trying to say, well, okay, well, shit, if shit go left, I'm out. Or being in a situation to where you saying, I'm one fuck up away from getting a divorce. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you in a marriage or you in a relationship to where things are not at their best, all right? We're talking stressful situations, stressful moments. This person's pissed off, she's pissed off, or he's pissed off at the other person. This person has been unhappy or just in a total state of just disengagement for 6 months. When you can still say divorce is not an option, the intent of that speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to your level of commitment. To say, even though this motherfucker pisses me off and he is pissing me off to the highest of festivity, divorce is still not an option. That speaks volumes to your level of commitment and your level of intent. So, having that being said, keep that in your mind. Is this the person that I want to be with that I can say divorce is not an option with? Is this the person that I want to be connected to, bonded to for life till death do us part, to say divorce is not an option? That's huge. That shows your level of commitment and saying that, hey, at the end of the day, even if I don't have the tools, I am willing to work it out. I have the work ethic to get the tools to work it out. I have the work ethic to get the tools to rehab. Yes, I did say that. To rehab the situation. That's what you have to keep in mind. When you talking about, this is huge too. This is my second biggest one. People don't have the ability to change and to be organic. So when you're talking about change and you're talking about being organic, what does change mean? Being able to do something different than what you've normally done. Being able to do something different that puts you outside of your comfort zone. Being able to do something different that you never thought that you would probably do. Being organic means to be constantly in a state of growth. I can change, I can grow this way, I can grow fast, I can grow slow, I can grow, because as I'm growing, I am changing. Things that I didn't do, I am now doing. Things that I didn't know, I have now learned, and I am applying those things. I am organic in my relationship, not just my marriage. In all of your relationships, with your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, your friend, your best friend, the person at church, the person at the grocery store, the person who washed your car, your barber. Shout out to my man Miloski, and shout out to my man Q. But when you're talking about your barbers and all of those people that you're just in relationship with, if you're not in a state of being organic to where things are always getting better, things are always changing through the ups and downs, whatever the case may be, then you are not in a position to where you are being organic and changing. And if you're not changing, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not living. And if you're not living, then you are dying. So, people do not want to change. It's the hardest thing about life. One of the hardest things, if not the hardest thing, arguably, about life. We don't want to change. We want to do what we've been doing, because what we've been doing is what we've been doing. No matter if it's dysfunctional, no matter if it's dysfunctional or hurtful or harmful to even our own selves. Damn the other people around us that it could be a problem with. If it's something that we don't want, something that we don't like, then we just don't want to change. We just say, this is how I am. This is who I is. That's how I be. It is what it is. How many times have you heard that? I know I say it. But at the end of the day, I still have to keep in mind that you have to be able to change and be organic. Now, with doing that, has to make sense, has to be logical, has to be truthful, has to be something that's going to make me better. Those are my requirements personally. But when someone can come to me with that, not just acquiescing or bending to their will, that's one thing. But being able to say, this is why you doing this. This is why it's a problem for not just you, but the people around you. And if you were to do this, you can see the improvement in not just yourself, but in these people that are around you. And this is the right thing to do, because these are the things that prove, that give you supporting facts as to why it is. Absolutely. You have to be open to that. Have to be willing to do that. So definitely keep that in mind. Always keep the ability to change and to be organic. Fight for that every day. Challenge yourself with that every day. I want to be organic. I want to be able to change. What can I change today? What can I do today to be better? Which leads me to my last point. People don't have the will to become better versions of themselves. What does that mean? I don't want to be a better me. I think that I'm perfect in all of my glory right now as you see me. What you see here is not just a person, but it is perfection. When you thinking like that, you don't have a will to change. You don't want to be a better version of yourself, because you may think you the best version of it is. God damn it, it don't get no better than this. You know what I'm saying? This what you see right here is the best. There is none better. There is nothing greater. For if the Father would have created anything better than this, he would have kept it for himself. If you thinking like that, then that's your first and your biggest problem. Make sure that you are always in a position to where you have the desire to become a better version of yourself. Want to get better. Even though I'm fucking awesome right now, how can I be better? People that are watching this right now, tell me in the comments, what can I do to be better? How can I be better? Sip more tea. Whatever it is, I'm always open to criticism. I'm always open to somebody challenging me on what it is I say, what it is that I do, and how I carry myself and how I behave. Challenge me on it. Now, I'm not just going to say, oh, okay, I should do this. Okay, I'll go do that now. I'm not going to say that. But at the end of the day, the discussion is what needs to be held at all times, because the discussion is what sparks the idea, which is what sparks change. So always be in a position to where you have the will to want to be a better version of yourself. All right. So that's pretty much it. I do have a few more little things that I just want to go over. When it just comes to marriage, when it comes to being together with somebody in a relationship, you know, whether you have a piece of paper with the $25,000 day that you spend, or whether you just run down to City Hall and go before the judge, whatever the case may be, always realize these few points. We all, and I'm saying all, damn that hashtag not all shit, I'm saying all. We all have a deep need, desire, want, and yearning to be together and to share our lives with one another. And I'm not just talking about husband and wife, or man and woman. I'm saying all of us. We all have a deep desire and a biological instinct to connect and be together. Hence, Soto Nation. Hence, the world of YouTube. Hence, the world. Hence, your neighborhood. Hence, your community. We all have the need to be together because that's how we were created, to be together. Black, white, short, tall, fat, skinny, whatever the case may be. We all have a deep desire to be together. We all need to be together. Why? Because it makes us our best version of ourselves. Being together means that you are challenged by more than just what is closest to you. You are challenged by those that are around you, those that interact with you. So that is first and foremost. Always remember that. 2, when it comes to love, and I tell people this all the time, love can be complicated, it can be simple, it can be, all of this, good stuff, bad stuff. It is all encompassing. However, love is simply, in my own personal opinion, love is simply taking a gamble on a person who is worthy, not the right person for you, but who is worthy of risking your heart with, your emotions, your most vulnerable, transparent, intimate self. Say, here are my hearts, my feelings, my emotions, my time, my energy, and my resources. I am trusting you with this because I deemed you to be worthy. I have talked to you. I have vetted you out. I have interviewed you. I have spent time with you. I have done plenty of things with you. I have given you test after test, and I believe that you are worthy. Not because God told me that you was the right one for me in a vision. My auntie came to me and said he the one. No. I have vetted you out, and I have absolutely shown you, I have deemed you to be worthy of who I am and what it is that I have. And I'm trusting you with it. That's what love is. And it's a gamble. And it's a lot that you have here. It's a lot that you're risking. But without great risk, there is no great reward. The greatest reward of all is to have someone who truly loves you for the way that you are, fucked up and all. Good, bad, right, wrong, indifferent. That person loves you in spite of who you are. In spite of the shit you do. In spite of the things you say. In spite of the way you behave. But they love you because they know that you are trying to be a better you. They know and they can see. Not just somebody say, I'm trying to be better. No, they can actually see, point out the good things that you do on a day-to-day basis, consistently, to be a better version of yourself. And they love you through that. They love you because of that. They love you along that journey. Be wise with who you make yourself vulnerable to and who you allow to have the opportunity to break your heart. Being in love, getting married, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and fiance, all of that, all you're essentially doing is saying, hey, I'm allowing you to break my heart and to fuck me over. Will you do it or not? Make sure that whoever you give that opportunity to, that you know who they are to the best of your ability, to where you can say, hey, I took a hell of a gamble, and based on the things that I knew about this person, based on all of the things that I found out about this person, this was a good bet to place. So make sure that you're wise in that decision. Don't just do it because they got money. Don't just do it because they got they can buy you what you want. Don't just do it because they got the best head in the world. Don't just do it because they got the biggest ass. Don't just do it because they got the biggest dick. Don't just do it for those simple, superficial things. Because those things are all fleeting. Don't just do it because she got a flat stomach. She got the tightest body. She swallow. She take it in and everywhere. She do whatever I want her to do, how I want her to do it. Because that's all fleeting and it changes. You essentially at one point will get tired of it. And that one thing will not bind you for a lifelong relationship. It won't. It has to be multiple things. It has to be all encompassing. No, nobody's perfect. No, nobody is going to do everything that you want to do the way they want to do it, but you have to have those key foundational relationship tools to sustain a relationship. Because it's always somebody who suck better. It's always somebody who fucks better. It's always somebody who got a bigger dick. It's always somebody who got better head. It's always somebody who got a bigger ass. It's always somebody who got bigger titties. It's always somebody who got more money. It's always somebody who got a bigger house. And it's always somebody who can buy more shit for you. At that point, if you're going along with that, you're essentially whoring yourself out to that person or that thing or those things. Which means you're just getting used. So you are more than that. Have enough self-respect for yourself. Value yourself. Like one of the things I said in my From Daddies to Daughters. Treat yourself like a treasure, not just a prize. A prize is that goddamn thing in the little game with the arm and it'd be like the claw and it come around and pick the thing up, take it over to the basket and drop it. Sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't, but instead of keep putting money in and it keeps moving, up, didn't get shit that time, up, big ass, up, didn't get shit that time, good head, but she sucking everybody dick that time, up. You just get into that cycle of doing that. Don't put yourself in that position. Value yourself. Treat yourself like a treasure to where you say, motherfucker gonna have to work so hard to come get this shit that when they get it, it's so well deserved. And they gonna treat it as such. They're gonna appreciate it. You appreciate treasure. You spend money. You throw money. You'll walk away from. You'll do anything for a prize. Ah, shit, ain't nothing but a prize. Fuck that prize. I don't need that. Treasure? Treasure changes your life. Treasure changes your situation. Treasure makes you better and those around you better. So be a treasure. Men and women alike. I ain't just talking about women. Men and women alike. Be a treasure, bro. Value your sexuality to the point to where you don't fuck any and everybody just because they want your dick. Value your sexuality to the point to where you won't just sleep with her because her ass is fat. Even though she ghetto as fuck and treats you and talks so much shit to you that you can't even stand it. You just say, I don't even be listening to her, dog. Value yourself and your sexuality, and most of all, value your seed to the point to where you don't just give it to anybody who at that moment will take it. Cool. Understanding that love and relationships is an organic process. That means it is something that is always changing and is always growing. I think I've hit that several times. Understand the marriage, that marriage is like a business. You are building with someone, you are building with someone else from the ground up. So you bringing what you got to the table, they bring what they got to the table. You guys saying, hey, let's go ahead and let's build something based on the foundations that we have both established as individuals. So my foundation, what I stand on, what I have that works for me, and what I've been able to use to provide a life for me, your foundation and what you have for you, what you've been able to build for yourself, now we have a flat surface to build upon. Wait, there you go. And now with this flat surface, we can make something that works. However, if my foundation is not that sturdy, then the house is going to lean. So make sure that you are able to build with somebody that has viable resources, viable energy, viable time, and you can say, well, hey, this person is good enough to where we can do this and we can make this work because they have tools, I have tools, and together we can build a great life for ourselves. Let's see. Understand that you, oh yeah, this is a big one here. Understand that you, well, let me do this. I'm going to switch these two. Be sure that before anything, you build a strong friendship first before you take things to the next level. And I say this, and this has worked for me on a personal level. Be friends first. At the end of the day, think about your best friend. Think about some of your best friends you've had in your life. And you think about that person that was like a brother, that was like a sister, that you would do anything for. That person that you have in your life that you say, man, this is my motherfucking boy, my ride or die. This is my man, this is my girl, whatever the case may be. Think about the dynamics of that friendship and how important that friendship is with you. And that's the type of friendship you should have established with the person that you're going to get engaged to, the person you're going to propose to, the person you're going to get married to, the person that you want to be the mother of your children, the person that you want to be the father of your children. That's the type of friendship you should have before you go to the next level. Because that's so important. Because when shit goes wrong, when shit goes left, when things go bad, when things ain't what you want them to be, you will give a fuck more than usual, because you'll be able to say, you know, at one point you were my friend. And that really means something. Because at the end of the day, if the marriage breaks down, if the relationship goes to shit, I can still say that you were my friend. And that means something to me. Friendships last for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But at the end of the day, a friendship that you have with a person, it means something. Your childhood friend that you may not even see no more, talk to no more. You can see that person today, and you guys can pick up where you left off, because you had a true bond, a true friendship. That person that you haven't talked to since high school, you can see them now, be like, hey, man. And you guys can pick up where you left off and be true friends. That stands for something. That means something. And when you have that in a relationship with somebody that you're sleeping with, somebody that you're getting married to, somebody that you are going to be engaged to, that means something, and it gives you a different level of commitment. It gives you a different level of intent. It gives you a different level of respect, and it gives you a different level of love to maintain that relationship. Very important. And last but not least, I'm going to sip me some tea before I read this one. Hibiscus berry. Not bad. Understand that you are responsible and accountable for your own happiness and visions coming to fruition. And your partner is only there to share in the journey and to support you the best way they can in that journey. So what makes you happy, what you love to do, who you want to be, what you want to become, things you want to have, all of that is all encompassing, and you are in the driver's seat of that shit. That is your vehicle to drive. However, I'm in the same vehicle. I'm in a vehicle as well. We going down the same street. So if I see your car have a little car trouble, you pull over, I can pull over. Help you change your tire. Help you put some fix-a-flat in. Give you pour some water in your radiator. Y'all remember that shit? You used to be able to put water in your radiators. That's old school right there, baby. But to be able to just help you along the way in that journey. Because at the end of the day, once we do that, I got to get in my car, you got to get in your car. We can make stops together. We can go on trips together. We can get off on this exit and go eat together. We can get off on this exit and go shop together. This journey that we're on together, we can definitely do that. But my own happiness, who I am as a person, what I want to become as a person, I need to first and foremost know what that is and what that looks like and how that feels and how that makes me feel. And I need to know if you're the right person to be along with me on that journey. And then I also need to be able to be responsible for that. I need to be able to set the plan for me to go after what it is that I want in this life. I need to be able to be in a position to where I can set the things in place that I need to have in order to be happy, in order to have my visions and my hopes and my dreams to come to fruition, to come true. I am in the driver's seat of that. I'm the director. I'm the star. I am the executive producer of my own show. Now, you can be a stagehand. You can be an assistant director. You can be an associate producer. You can be a co-star. You can help me in that, make my show better. But as far as what that looks like and where that goes and how that's executed, that's all on me. And I am responsible for that. When it's fucked up or when it's awesome, it's my responsibility. It's my win. It's my loss. It's my own thing. And your part in this is that you're going along on the journey with me and you help me the best way you can. So if you can cheer me on and ain't got no money, so be it, because I knew that beforehand. If you can tell me, hey, give me an attaboy and pat me on the back along the way, if that's what I need for you to do, Perfect. That's what your job is. If you're the person that says, hey, when you're feeling down and just when you on tape by taking a knee and you want to give up, I'm going to be the one that's going to lift your ass up and walk with you for a little bit and put your arm around my neck and carry you a little while and then say, all right, nigga, you good now. Get back on your feet. Keep going. So be it. But make sure that you are in the driver's seat of your own happiness. Make sure that you are in the driver's seat of your own vision, your own dreams, your wants. Because that way, you will know if that other person can be along for the ride. You will know if that person is there that's in your life can truly help you. Because if you got your shit together and you know where you're going and you know what you're doing, and you know how you have to do it and what it takes to get it done, and you got somebody in your life that ain't going to be able to help you with that shit, that's your fault. If you got somebody in your life who's always pissing on your fire, that's your fault. If you got somebody that's always throwing shade on your shine, blocking your sun, that's your fault. You better get them out your life. And it's not a bad thing. It's not that that person is the most evilest person ever to walk the face of the earth. It's just that you have picked the wrong person to co-star in your show, in your movie, in your life. So you take the responsibility and you bring in and push out those people that are here to help you be successful and those that are here to hurt and hate on, hinder, fuck up, drain, dog, backstab. All of those people, get them out your life your damn self. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, look at that, I got that end of the day in there. When it's all said and done, when the curtain closes and the show is over, it's all on you. So, I hope that this has helped somebody become a better version of themselves. I hope that this has helped somebody prepare for a marriage. I hope that this will help identify if somebody can be married. Because marriage, I don't know who said it, but I saw it somewhere where it said marriage is for anybody can get married, but marriage ain't for everybody. And that's very true. There are some people in this world that cannot obtain the tools to sustain a happy marriage. There are some people who don't have the relationship skills to be married. The divorce rate proves it. There are a lot of people out here that can be great companions, that can be great boyfriends, that can be great girlfriends, that can be great second wives, that can be great third wives, that can be great housewives, that can be great husbands or side dudes, whatever the case may be. There are plenty of people out here that can do that. Everybody's not meant for this thing called marriage that we know it as today. And we all have to be willing to, and catch this, we all have to be willing to take the responsibility to change the dynamics of marriage and how we bond with each other in our lives to make it work for us. Your marriage, it's your own canvas. You take the paint and you put on that shit what you want it to look like. Don't let people put you in a box that you know ain't working. What kind of sense does that make? Why think in a box when you know the box is broken? Why try to fix something that you see is not working? Why try to do something that you see is constantly failing? Be willing to take your marriage and take your life and do what is necessary to make yourself happy, to make yourself the best version of yourself that you can be. I'm telling you right now, you only get one time on this motherfucking ride, man. And if you don't make it the best ride of your life, in spite of everything that can go wrong, everything that can be a hindrance, everything that I didn't ask for this, shame on you if you don't make it the best ride you can make it. Ride this motherfucking thing called life till the wheels fall off. Be happy in what it is that you do. Seek out your happiness. Seek those that help you be successful. Seek out those that enhance your happiness, that want you to be happy, that push you to be happy. Get with those that help you be better, a better version of yourself. Those people that challenge you. Those people that want nothing but the best of you. Those people that offend you to be good. Those people that offend you to good works. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. Because at the end of the day, when you get to that point to where your life is going the way that you want it to go and things are going the way you wanted them to be, then you can sit back and say, yes, I did that. And it feels good to do it. That's what this thing is about. So make sure that you take everything, the good things and the bad things in your life, and put them together so that they work for your good. We all have tragedies. We all have trials and tribulations, letdowns, fuck ups. We all have that. But you worth it to get up and do that thing again, and to do it the right way, and to do it a better way. Take that lemon and make lemonade. Take that shit and turn it into sugar. Whatever you got to do to make you a better you and to live a happy and to live a full life, do it. And do it because you deserve it. Do it because it's your right to do it. Do it because at the end of the day, you're the only one that can. You're the only one that's responsible for it. I can't find my happiness in you. My happiness got to be here already, blossoming, thriving. And all I'm doing is presenting my happiness and who I am to you and say, hey, do you like this? Do you want to roll with this? You want to be a part of this? And if you do, hell yeah, get on the team. And if you don't, hey, that's cool, man. Go do your thing. I love you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. I appreciate all of the time and the energy that you guys have sent my way. It is by far one of the greatest pleasures of my life to do this thing that I get to do, and to have you guys support me, and to have you guys there with me to do it. I truly, truly, truly thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to read these donations real quick, and then we're going to close this thing out, and everybody going to get them a good night's sleep, and they're going to wake up tomorrow and start them a new them. Let me go back here to the last time I got a donation. I think this is where I started. Boom. Okay. All right. So this donation came a few days ago. This is from Sherry Steele. Great show tonight. This is from the Guru and the Whore. Hey, keep an eye on Tommy. I don't know how he manages all the crap that's going on in his life, but you are a true friend to him. Keep checking in on him. You have excellent advice and a good heart. Take care. Thank you so much. And let me say this to my man Tommy Sotomayor out here in the land of YouTube or at home or wherever you are right now, my brother. At the end of the day, man, I want you to know one thing. There are so many people that love you, that appreciate you, and that respect you for who you are and what you have done in this life. Good, bad, and the ugly. I am one of them. I thank you for all that you have done for me. I thank you for the example that you have set for others. I thank you for being that person that is blazing the trail of doing something new for all of these people out here in the world to see. The shit ain't easy. I know it's hard, and I respect you for it. And I thank you for taking that front position and doing what it is that you do. I love you, brother. Everybody in Soto Nation, we love you, and we just appreciate you, man, for who you are. And I thank you for taking a chance on a nigga that ain't shit like me. I thank you, brother, honestly, but I appreciate you, man, and I love you. And I hope that when you see this, when you hear this, I hope, man, that you truly understand and see how much, if don't nobody else out here in the world tell you, you know that this motherfucker right here, I ain't got nothing but love for you, brother. Nothing but respect for you, man. You're one of the smartest people I know, and it is an honor to know you. It's an honor to be around you and to share the space with you, man. Thank you, sir. And I hope that you have a great night or a great day whenever you do see this. Let me move on to the next one. This is from my brother DJ Just J. This your boy DJ Just J. Okay, showing some love. You guys do an awesome show. I grow in my relationship every time. I think I read this one. Every time I grow in my relationship more every time I watch you and Tommy. Yeah, I did. Thank you though, brother. Let's see. This is a donation from Pandorians. She says, David and I love you. Brian, thank you for sharing your awesomeness with us as well. be to the world. Thank you so much, Pandorians. I appreciate you as always. And this is from my man Corby Simmons. Love the show and your gun channel. As usual, you always come with some good shit. Thank you so much. And since you just mentioned that, thank you for mentioning that. Man, y'all need to go subscribe to my gun channel. Yes, indeed. Let me close that. This is my beer. It'll get you drunk. Get to my channel. I think I'm gonna do a video doing the Sam Adams thing. I think I am. I think that would be funny. It'll get you drunk. But those are the links to the Goober and the Whore, the Relationship Rehab, and the UGOA, the United Guns of America. Make sure y'all subscribe to that. I got some hot shit coming for the UGOA. I'll be doing that either tomorrow. I think tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Talk About It Tuesday. I think Wednesday or Thursday I'm gonna be doing that. But definitely subscribe to the UGOA. Let's see here. Next is that's Corby. And this is for Sinead. She says, hope this payback money due for what I've watched already. Thank you so much, Sinead. I appreciate you too for always donating. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Alrighty, and this is from my girl MG, Michelle Glass. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you. This is from my man Dwayne Holmes. Thank you so much for your donation, good sir. And this is from my man Jason Gunn. I appreciate you, man. This is also for that $3 challenge as well. Love you, my brother. Hey, man, I love you too, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, I thank you so much, man, for always having my six, brother. Always watching my back, man. I tell you one thing, man. Being in this land of YouTube is not too often where you really get to meet good, genuine people, man. And I tell you right now, brother, you are one of them. I thank you so much. I thank you to the EGs, the MGs, the DJs, everybody that just comes through and just consistently supports the Beverly Jones, David Williams, Athena's World. Man, y'all just don't know how much this means to y'all, man. To me, to see y'all just consistently show up for me. John Belcher, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, sir. Man, it is just an awesome thing to see, man. Brian Reed, thank you, sir. Everybody, man, who has just come by, shown me love. I thank you so much. Now, I did notice in the chat that my man David, you going through, hey, man, email me, man. And if we need to rap for a taste or something like that, man, let's do it. If you got like something, you know what, since you've been definitely one of my people that have been consistently here, man. If you got something right now you need to ask me, type it in the chat, man, and I'll try to answer it before I end the show. But to everybody else, man, that has just been a part of this thing, thank you guys so much for all of the help, all of the support, and just all I can ask is that you guys just keep doing what y'all doing, man. Share my shit, push it out there, and just invite people to try something new, man. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I can definitely tell you, man, I appreciate the opportunity that you guys give me every time you click on and watch me do my thing. Thank you so much, man. As I always say, maintain your composure and elevate above the mess. Very true, man. Absolutely. All right, brother. Well, yeah, man, if you need something from me, David, man, email me, therelationshiprehab@gmail. Man, make sure y'all subscribe to them channels. Push that channel out there, that gun channel, man. I think it's going to be popping. I really like it, though. It's a lot of fun doing that stuff on there. I've been setting up some stuff for it, and I think I'm about ready to start doing some gun reviews, so that's going to be sweet. Brian, we need to do some gun cleaning. I'm actually going to be doing that. I got something specifically for that coming up. Man, I got my guns I'm going to do. I got some tactical things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about holsters. I got a lot of stuff like already mapped out. It's just a matter of me now just actually doing the content now that I actually got it all laid out what I'm going to do. I had to get some more equipment so that I can do things. I want to be able to actually like film it, talk about it, and actually have another camera to actually show what's happening as I'm doing that. So it's like I do have that now because I didn't have like a second camera, so I can actually do that. So that's gonna be awesome. So yeah, just wait and see, man. We can definitely do gun cleaning, gun safety, all that stuff, man. I'm all about that. Um, yeah, we can even do like for talking about guns, like a show and tell. We could definitely do that. I was thinking about doing like a hangout where hey, you can get your own your gun that you have, and we can take 5 minutes for each person to actually talk about the guns that they want to showcase and talk about. So it's like, because it's not necessarily think about just going through all of the details. It's just giving some pros and cons of guns that you have, why you like them, why you don't, why you bought it, why you want to sell it, whatever the case may be. You could just do that, and that's one of the reasons why I have the platform created for that. So yeah, man, be looking for that, brother. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to that. I've been putting it on all the channels and all the videos and stuff to make sure that you guys can see it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I really think it's gonna be big. So man, jump in on it so you can say, man, I was doing it when he first started. I remember he said unload, let me know I can do my guns. Yep, trying to be kind and not arguing, just killing her with kindness. I'm hoping she hasn't filed. I love her so much and our kids. Hey man, let me tell you this, Dave. I'm gonna tell you this. The effort that you put into a marriage, into a relationship, into a friendship, whatever the case may be, the effort that you put into it, the level of commitment that you have for it, the amount, the intent that you have towards it, it has to be matched. There has to be that other person on the other side that wants it just as much as you do. And here's why I say that. Because if one person wants it and the other one's just along for the ride, and the other one just doesn't really want it, the other one doesn't care about it as much as this one does, what happens is you run out of gas. You will run out of energy. You will become exhausted. When you give and 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 give, and there is no reciprocity, there is no yin to the yang, then you essentially are just out here by yourself, going in a circle. There is no push to the pull. It's just you by yourself, and eventually that one thing will stop. It will give. It will break. It will run out of gas, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes, as bad as it is, as much as we may not want to, let it be known or accept the fact that relationships do die. And I know Tommy always says like a divorce is like a death in the family. It absolutely is. But sometimes a thing has to die so that another thing can be born. So that another thing can come to life. So that another thing can come to pass. Shout out to Shadow Reaper. Thank you, sir, for that donation. I appreciate it, man. So you have to be able to, even when you don't want it, even when it hurts you, even when it may even break you, let your heart break, mourn, grieve, and let that thing be what it is. Because once you've given your effort, once you've done all that you can do, once you've put everything that you have on the table and you have been 100% transparent in what you want, who you are, and what you have to give, if there's not enough for that other person, so be it. Don't kill yourself for someone who isn't trying to kill themselves for you too. When you're at the point to where you are both trying to take care of each other, marriage will work. When it's just one taking care of the other, that's just one person using the other for their resources, for their time, for their energy, whatever the case may be. And yes, you saying that you can survive Iraq. It's crazy how you survived Iraq and now this marriage may end. That's life, brother. And as sad as it is, I'm telling you a hard truth, and I'm telling you something that you may not want to hear, because I'm hoping that one day the best for you will be able to come your way. And if this thing that's in front of you that you're constantly dealing with and focused on is not the best thing for you, but it's right here in your face every single day because that's what you're fixated on, you cannot see what's beyond it. That is probably better for you. Go through that pain. Go through what you have to go through. If it works, great. If it doesn't, be okay with that and learn to live with it because it will pass. And if this isn't what was meant for you, then you will move on to a new thing, to something that is better, to something that is bigger, to something that is more fulfilling, to something that is more satisfying, and to something that will definitely complement your own happiness. I hope that that helps you. And if you have any other questions, man, hit me up, brother. Email me, and we can chop it up if we need to, man. Like I said, I know you have been around here for a long time, man, and I ain't got nothing but respect for you, man. Salute to you. And at the end of the day, thank you for your service, man. You put your shit on the line every day for how many days over there, how many years over there, so a motherfucker like me can have the ability to do this, and I don't have to be sitting up with my AR-15 looking out my window hoping that a motherfucker ain't trying to come over here. So I thank you for that. And at the end of the day, if you need something, man, hey, lean on your Soto Nation brothers and sisters, man, and talk it out, man, if you need to. Because at the end of the day, that's what definitely helps you move on. Being able to have those people around you, like I was saying before, that can help you become a better version of yourself. I love you guys. I'm out. My second wife treated him so much better than she ever did. Very true, Crown of Glory. Very true. Thank you so much, MG. I appreciate you too. Nothing but love for you guys. Hey, I hope that this helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And man, I feel good about this show. Peace, and I'm out. Love you guys. Peace out. Someone please call 911. Where's this thing at? Tell them I just got shot down and the bullets in my heart and it's piercing through my soul. Feel my body getting cold, so cold, so cold.